Hello and welcome to the 6th edition of the Clarke Park Show. It's Monday the 13th of January, and before I continue with my talk and walk, I just want to show you of the fantastic view that is behind me. So I've come to a different place today, a different part of the park, and you will see some different scenery and background there, and I think it's always interesting to show you different sights behind me. And this is the place I've just come from, by the way. Lovely place called Pembroke Lodge. I've just had an afternoon tea there, and a few thoughts. I'm going to tell you something else there related to veganism, because that's the topic of today. But a bit of an offbeat topic of mine, but it's just come to my mind there, is why do so many men, not wash their hands after they've been to the public toilet? That's always puzzled me, and I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, just a question of why. Anyway, so let me continue. Yesterday I gave the wrong date, by the way. I said it was the Sunday the 11th of January. It's actually the 12th of January. And I really should have known that, because today, the 13th of January, is my middle daughter's birthday. She's 27 today. And if you haven't seen it in a previous video, I have 4 young adult children, all in their 20s. And I won't mention a name because I forgot to mention my son, his birthday was last Wednesday. He turned 23, and he and my middle daughter, they're quite shy, private people, so I think they would be embarrassed and wouldn't like it if I named them on the video. That leads me to another topic there that I've covered. I think it was in edition 4, this line between public and private. As we want to build up a profile and brand awareness, how much should we share publicly, what is public, and what should be kept private? And it's also topical when we think of the big story at the moment is Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. There's a big meeting going ahead today at Sandringham Palace to discuss their future, and that revolves, of course they're in a very different position there because they have the media that follows them around everywhere, and they feel they want much more of a private life, and there's a big debate really in their position about how much they should allow and expose themselves to be public and what should be allowed to be private. But even us mere mortals who are not followed around by the media on a regular basis, I'm just throwing it out there, but how much do you think we should share that's public? Are there any boundaries, any borderlines about what we keep private? Well, I'm sure we all vary, we all differ really on how much we share publicly and what we choose to keep private. I'm just throwing it out there as another debate really, and I've mentioned before, I'd love these to be interactive and to get your thoughts on some of these thoughts and topics I throw out there on my walks and talks. And there's the clue there, by the way, to the name. It's Walks on Talks. I'm in a park. My name is Clarke, hence that's why it's called the Clarke Park Show. So another little tidbit I've shared with you there. My main topic for the day is around Veganuary. I've touched upon it before, and veganism, because I saw something really interesting today about the different types of veganism, and that was fascinating. It got me thinking as well, because you have a term that's known as a veganangelist, and a veganangelist is evangelical about being a vegan. It's not just about what they eat, but they won't wear anything that comes from an animal either. And they're also known as an ethical vegan as well. And another fascinating point that came out from last week, I think it was the 3rd of January, and this was in an English law court, where it was ruled that ethical veganism is a philosophical belief. And once classified as a philosophical belief, it means there are certain protections that such people have. But they're the really, truly evangelical, and they do like to preach about it too. And I'm certainly not one of those. What happened with me is I went to a Tony Robbins event last April, and that was Unleash the Power Within. And on the last day, it was all about food and health. And for me that was a real eye-opener when they showed us so much about food and how it's produced and a lot of the issues around it in terms of toxins, pollution, environmentalism and the planet. And some of it I kind of knew, some of it I didn't, and it really shocked me. And the challenge they gave us was try it for 10 days, just try it for 10 days, give up everything, meat, fish, dairy, the whole lot. So I thought, okay, I'm up for that challenge, let's try that for 10 days. And I did. It was really hard, it was really tough adjusting to it, and I probably was a little bit more vegetarian and gradually got into the vegan side, and for 4 months I probably was at least 95% vegan, I would say. And then I eased off. After that I probably eased back a little bit, a bit more flexible, occasionally have some dairy. I'd say since last April I've eaten meat I think on 3 occasions, fish on 3 occasions. So yes, looking at these definitions, I'm definitely in the next category, which they termed as a vegan. A vegan doesn't sound a very good word to me, but another term for it is a flexitarian, and that's probably what I am, is a flexitarian. And many more people are going that way, and it's really reducing their meat intake. I mean, for me, I hardly ever eat meat, and I hardly ever eat fish, but technically I must be flexitarian because on occasions I have. And I'm thinking, well, if more of us did that, if many more of us actually cut down our intake and maybe became, say, 75% vegan, that is making a massive contribution to the planet, to the environment, and to animal welfare as well. And I want to leave you with that thought, because I don't think it's so difficult to do that these days. More and more places are offering vegan options now in the supermarkets. There are many more options for buying vegan foods. When you go into a lot of restaurants now and cafes, there are more vegan options coming on the menu. If you go into a Starbucks or Costa Coffee or Cafe Nero, they usually have a savoury vegan option and a sweet vegan option. There are places now I go to where you can have some delicious cupcakes and brownies which are vegan, and they taste very nice. There's a bakery called Lola's, and I have to tell you, Lola's, they do the most delicious chocolate vegan cupcake. It's actually better than the dairy version of it, so things are getting better. The only one thing that I found difficult to change is I've tried the vegan chocolate and I really don't like the taste of that. So yes, I'm not really, that's why I'm a flexitarian, because I do still love dairy chocolate that has dairy milk in it, and it's difficult to get out of that one. But and I went to a place yesterday, that's right, because it's Veganuary, there's these cafes that have so many vegan options. I was really impressed with the choice of cakes and brownies and savouries, and they had a vegan Cornish pasty, which I had, and it was really tasty, by the way. It was absolutely delicious. And a few days ago I was in Greggs, you know Greggs the bakers, and their profits increased last year by almost 8%, and a large part of that success was their introduction of the vegan sausage roll, which I've had, and that is very tasty. And what I had a few days ago was their new vegan steak bake. They only introduced that I think about a week ago, and I wouldn't describe it as great, but it was quite nice. It was quite a decent alternative to a steak bake, and yeah, for £1.55 you can't really go wrong. But well done to them. So there's a lot more creativity taking place, and give me your thoughts. Tell me, where are you now? Are you have you become a vegetarian or a vegan? Are you thinking about it? And if you have already done that, where are you with that at the moment? How are you progressing? So please do get in touch and give me your feedback. So I've now got to just over my 10 minutes, so this is the point where I say thank you very much for watching. See you next time, and toodaloo.